Mr. Pete Madango is the one who's going to give us a message of support. And there's the representative from the AA, Ms. Eleanor Mavimbela, also give us the message of support. There's a representative from South African Bus Operators Association, Ms. Shamin Naidu is also with us. And then there's a rep from Road Freight Association, Mr. Kevin van der Merwe. And then there's a representative from the South African Liquor Traders Association, Mr. Lakintiman. And then, of course, the RTMC executives and CBRTA, as well as, of course, RTIA. So, Minister, those would be the guests who are joining you in terms of giving the messages of support. So at this point, we would want to now that we are hosted by the Gauteng.
No, we start with Tshwane.
Oh, Tshwane, sorry. The Tshwane. And of course, Tshwane is in Gauteng, so I'm not entirely wrong. So we will ask the MMC just to say a few words. MMC, over to you.
No, thank you, Program Director. Thank you so much, Program Director.
Use your short
We're actually making a joke with the Minister that I'm welcoming her in her own building, you know. But those are the perks of being the host city. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My responsibility is that of welcoming all of you. And just as it's an annual, tradition, just appreciate the effort from the department and obviously the relevant stakeholders that are here to ensure that we proceed with the campaign, the road safety campaign, as its tradition. Minister, as the City of Tshwane, we have put in a few efforts, obviously through the sister department that is Community of Safety, through the MMC Hannes Kotsi. There's work that is currently being done, and we do continue to commit, the city to ensuring that there's law enforcement with regards to, the pedestrians that are supposed to be where they are, those that are driving, and the work that it's supposed to be done. So we do also ensuring that the infrastructure of the city, our roads infrastructure, is one that is conducive, so that in our efforts to try and minimize the fatalities on the road, we also are able to provide road infrastructure that is conducive. And obviously through the MOUs that we have with the various taxi industry players, your Santaco and NTA, we continue to preach the message of ensuring that our taxi operators are within the prescripts of the law. We've recently had a few, I don't know if I should call it an altercation or a differences of some sort with some of our operators who obviously do not want to play by the book and obey the rules. But these are discussions and work that we continue to do. And with some NGOs as well, like your Child Safe South Africa, we've got MOUs that we have signed with them to ensure that through the work that we do, like your expediting the construction of speed humps, especially around near schools, to ensure the safety of kids, we continue to do that work. And through those platforms, Minister, as the city, we want to say we continue to support the work that you do. Obviously, this is a program or project that for its success, it requires all the various players to play their role, from ourselves as government to the law enforcement, to the stakeholders, and of course our guys of the alcohol industry, who have got a much more impactful role to play in ensuring that the work that we do, our campaigns are not just a talk shop, they actually become a reality, and ensuring that the road fatalities are minimized annually. So with those words, colleagues and Minister, welcome. We continuously commit ourselves to the work that you do, and we appreciate the work that you continue to do in as far as road safety is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. Just before we continue, I do want to acknowledge the presence of the acting DG who has just joined us, Mr. Matabata Mkonyam. I see him at the back, but also to acknowledge the presence of the HOD for Roads and Transport in Gauteng, Dr. Tulani Mdadane, who is also part of us. Next on the program, we're going to request the MEC to just make some remarks.
Thank you very much, and once more, good morning, everyone in the room, and thanks MMC, and good morning, Minister and Deputy Minister in absentia. I think one of the things that we have committed ourselves, Minister, as you continue to guide us as a provincial government, it's a development of a multifaceted approach to road safety in our province. And one of the things that we have tried to do first was to work with critical stakeholders in the sector. We are now at a point where we can confidently say to members of public in Gauteng and in the country that we have a public transport operators forum where all public transport modes are able to sit and with the provincial government as well as municipalities to outline the challenges that we're faced with, and amongst others, like MMC Mukhali has raised, is combining efforts on effective enforcement, law and traffic law enforcement on our side. We are starting to have one-on-ones with our municipalities on infrastructure development and routine road maintenance throughout the province. City of Tshwane was scheduled to be today. We had to prioritize this activity this morning. We also have developed a program around public education and community engagement. We'd realized that we are amongst the provinces that contribute highly on pedestrian fatalities that we continue to experience throughout the country, and we are making efforts to make sure that we reach out people where they gather, mainly in churches. I saw that in this platform we have liquor trading representatives. We have tried to meet with those who are owning places of entertainment in our province. And we are hopeful that the message will reach all our people. The truth is it's our collective responsibility. It starts with all of us. It's quite a difficult campaign to run because it's an individual responsibility, but we'll try our best, Minister, throughout the year. Of course, as we started with you in the festive season, we continued throughout the Back to School campaign. We are still continuing now also with various churches during this Easter to spread the message. And we are appealing to members of public, especially us in Gauteng. We are quite a youthful province that in the nature of young people, and we are urging them to self-regulate and find ways of entertaining themselves better and not allow us to and not make it difficult for all of us and their families to be saying rest in peace. Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you so much, MC. At this point, we move to the messages of support. We will begin with the President of Santaco. You can just take the podium.
Thank you very much, and Honorable Minister and MMC of the City of Tshwane in Transport and the MEC of Gauteng Transport Department, ladies and gentlemen, and all stakeholders, all protocol observed. For us, it is an honor to collectively prepare for these Easter holidays that are coming with a safety campaign, which is a crucial initiative aimed at safeguarding the lives of all those who travel across our beautiful country. And we must emphasize, Minister, that yes, we've adopted an approach of 365 days on road safety campaign from the taxi industry. As we reflect on the past year for us as Santaco, the taxi industry, we are acutely aware of the devastating impact that road accidents have had we've learned, we've seen, and it's unacceptable. Particularly in provinces, for example, like the Eastern Cape, and KZN, Gauteng as well, and Mpumalanga to Limpopo, people go into various activities. So tragically, we have witnessed the loss of countless lives, Minister, and we agree, many of which some may argue that could have been preventable. And I think we need to start doing an approach of we need to be reactive than we must be proactive than reactive. One of the leading contributors to these accidents, Minister, for the taxi industry, has been the driver fatigue. We would understand that during this time, it's rush hours, drivers will be forced to do 2 or 3 trips from one side. For example, a trip going to Limpopo, a driver will travel from Johannesburg to Limpopo, come back and take another load because the rank will be full. So people, they will be looking for transport, and sometimes it compromises this remains a serious concern, not just for our industry, but for all road users. That is why, Minister, starting tomorrow at Santaco, we are ramping up our efforts with the taxi industry and our colleagues to ensure that safety takes precedence over everything else. Because the work begins with the long weekend, and we will be targeting the major long-distance taxi ranks, because we need to address the problem where it starts. We must not only wait for roadblocks, because sometimes it compromises even the users. You will find that the taxi is impounded and the users are suffering on the road. So there are a number of initiatives that we will be doing, engaging with different stakeholders to assist us so that we can carry out the checks to ensure that all vehicles are compliant with the necessary regulations. I've seen some of the guys and the stakeholders that can assist us, and we've already alluded to that, Minister. Any vehicle that does not meet the required standards, be it in terms of up-to-date documentation or the condition of the vehicle, we need to take a stand and remove those vehicles, not to risk, because that it becomes a serious risk. We will not compromise when it comes to safety of our passengers, and we want to talk to our fellow operators that this is a serious concern in terms of the accidents that are taking place, because one life is too many for us. As we approach the Easter long weekend, Minister, a time when many will be traveling to visit their families, going for church activities, friends and loved ones. We will intensify our visibility on the roads in the ranks. Special attention will be given to the identified problematic areas. We are also calling for there's a so-called patrollers that are harassing members that are traveling to different provinces. And we want to call upon them that now we need law enforcement to come in and assist us, because we don't have powers to arrest. But those that are doing this in our name, the law must take its course to avoid people to always be threatened and monies are taken from cars and they do that in our name as the taxi industry. Some they will call themselves Santaco, some they will call themselves NTA patrollers. We are not law. We've got law enforcers who are doing the work, the actual work of the law. So we want to encourage our members to make sure that this time we want to emphasize the Tlhokomela campaign and Ndlelantle road safety campaigns. It's not just about enforcing rules. It's about ensuring that our drivers are well rested, well prepared, and driving in safe, well-maintained vehicles. Fatigue is a silent killer, and we are committed to doing everything in our power to eliminate this, because we are even talking to the Department of Health. So when a driver gets into a car, we need to know this eyesight is right, fatigue, because there are other chronic diseases that might affect the driver, especially the ones that are doing long distance. And to our drivers, we ask you to remember that the lives of your passengers, as well as your own, depend on your vigilance and your rest and your commitment to safety, because you are very important to the community. So you need to take responsibility. It's your responsibility as drivers to make sure that you are ready for the road, both physically and mentally. Rest before you drive, and if you feel fatigue during your journey, stop, rest, and only resume when you are fit to drive. To all South Africans, Minister, we urge you to play their part, ensure that you use only a registered and compliant vehicle. And to our passengers, once passengers start to see that the driver is not fit to get on the road, they must refuse the driver to go, because we do have queue marshals and we do have a responsible community that must assist us and other stakeholders. Let us all work together to make this holiday season one where we can celebrate with joy without the tragedy of road accidents. Finally, to our law enforcement partners, we thank you for your ongoing support and collaboration. I think working together, we are going to achieve more. Together, we will ensure that our roads are safe for everyone. Let this Easter long weekend be a time of celebration, of love, of family, and most importantly, of safety. We also make a pledge, Minister, to protect lives, to work together, and to be vigilant. Together, we can make a difference in South Africa. Thank you, Minister.
Thanks so much, President, for that. Can I just pause to allow the NCA to set up quickly? We've got 47 seconds. While the busy setting up, can I just recognize the CEO of RAF who has just walked in, Mr. Collins Litswalo. We are acknowledged, sir. Right. We then move to the Deputy President of the NTA, Mr. Pete Mahlangu, for a message of support. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I think now it's afternoon, Madam MEC. It's already afternoon. Afternoon to our Honorable Minister, MEC, MMC, and the colleagues. What I want to say is that there's this saying that if you want to walk fast, walk alone. And if you want to walk far and far to the future, hold hands and move together. That is what our minister is doing, and we appreciate that, and we applaud her for doing that, as a mother, of course. We, as NTA, we support government-initiated Arrive Alive campaigns, and we will continue to do so. Our message, which starts with me, of course, is that here today is that all must not speed, all must not wear seatbelt, must wear seatbelt, and all must not drink and drive, and that all must obey the rules of the road at all times. Else, they will find themselves in hospital where they will understand and appreciate health. Or they find themselves in prison where they will understand how precious freedom is. And worst, they will find themselves in the cemetery and realize that life is precious and death is permanent. That is our message. While applauding the leadership of the minister, Deputy Minister, and the department for this important initiative, we offer our support, partnership in joint awareness campaigns, community outreach programs, and where possible, resource sharing. We applaud your leadership, Minister, MEC and MMC, and your unwavering commitment to road safety. We commit to working with government to create a safer and more responsible road closure. What has been said by my colleague, not even one word or sentence I miss. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Deputy President. We then move, I think I'll move this way and take the representative of the Road Freight Association, Mr. Van der Merwe. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Honourable Minister, as the Road Freight Association, we continue to support the campaigns driven by the National Department of Transport. with the upcoming road safety campaign centered around the Easter time period. Through our various social media platforms, we will distribute all road safety messaging that will ensure that our operators are aware of the risks associated with this time of year where we've got higher volumes of traffic, impatience on the road, and driver attitudes that are generally frustrated because people want to get to their destinations. We also will ensure that our operators go out of their way to do their pre-trip road safety checks on all of their vehicles. It mustn't be that an accident has occurred because of a failure of a vehicle component such as brakes, etc. Also, proactively, we urge our operators and drivers to make use of our bargaining council's trucking wellness clinics to ensure that they do not run foul of health issues. Because amongst other things, fatigue has been mentioned not only in the taxi industry, but is also a serious factor if you look at the single vehicle accidents that take place where trucks leave the road. That is fatigue related 9 times out of 10. So it's important that you know whether or not your health is in question, because we've got a situation today in South Africa where our drivers are 45 years and older, and it is not a glamorous career for young people to enter, and we need to do something about that in the future. But for now, if we can ask our aged drivers, please make use of the facilities of our clinics through Trucking Wellness. It's free, provided to members of the Bargaining Council, and they will also look at you if you are not a member of the Bargaining Council. So all trucking companies encourage your drivers to check their health status. It's important. Blood pressure, poor vision, sugar diabetes, all of these factors are only detected if you go and have it checked. You do not feel the decline in your vision. You do not feel your high blood pressure. You live with it, it gradually creeps up on you, and one day it will get you. So it's important, make use of these facilities. And in closing, I'd just like to say, Minister, thank you for another initiative of the department. I think it's going to go down well. We support it 100%, and we wish everyone a safe and festive Easter period. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. van der Merwe. We'll take the representative of AA, if you can just move the gadgets. Ms. Ellen Madibela.
Thank you. Thank you, Program Director. Minister of Transport, MEC, MMC, representatives of transport agencies and entities, senior officials from government, of national, provincial and local government, distinguished members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, the Department of Transport today launches its road safety campaign, and as the Automobile Association, we stand firmly with them in this crucial mission of safer roads. The Easter period is one of the most dangerous times on our roads, and tragically, lives are lost every year, and we definitely feel that we must work together to change this. Honorable Minister, year after year, we hear about the same critical issues impacting our roads. Yet, we still witness devastating crashes. This ongoing situation tells us that simply raising awareness is not enough. We must take action. Sustained, visible enforcement and stricter accountability are essential to making our roads safer. Key priorities for road safety that we must address include drunk driving must stop. Alcohol-related crashes remain a leading cause of road deaths. We need to see increased roadblocks and breathalyzer tests, and we must enforce serious consequences for those who choose to drive under the influence. Next, let's talk about speeding and reckless driving. Every day, too many of our fellow road users ignore traffic laws, risking lives, both their own and those of others. Moreover, we cannot overlook unroadworthy vehicles on our roads. They pose a serious threat and contribute to fatal accidents. We need stricter inspections and effective roadside checks to keep those danger-ridden vehicles off our roads. Every car on the road should be fit for purpose. Additionally, we require stronger traffic law enforcement. Law enforcement officers must be visible and proactive throughout the Easter period and beyond. While we commend the Department of Transport for prioritizing road safety, we want to stress that campaigns alone will not solve the crisis. We need ongoing law enforcement, better driver education, and proper road maintenance to promote lasting change. This Easter, the Automobile Association urges every road user to commit to responsible driving. Let's advocate for stricter enforcement and a transport system where safety comes first. Every journey should end safely, and we believe by working together, we can make that a reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to move to the representative of South African Traders Association, Mr. Laki.
Honorable Minister, MEC, MMC, Transport and Roads industry leaders, as well as our esteemed colleagues. As the National Liquor Traders and certainly as the alcohol industry, we are fully behind you, Minister. We accept and acknowledge our role in ensuring that we stem the tide of road fatalities in South Africa. We fully understand the statistics that says that 87% of the fatalities are linked to driver behavior. And we know the responsibility of the alcohol industry in that statistic. We are saying that we are offering our real estate, all our liquor trader environments, to be messaging spots where we're able to communicate issues of responsible consumption of alcohol as it relates to drink and driving. We cannot afford to have a situation where people are dying on the road at the back of our businesses that support our families. We take full responsibility of things that need to happen, and we know what we need to do, Minister, and we embrace your guidance in terms of the messaging that we need to drive going forward, which is Get Home Safely campaign. We are going to implement this going forward, and we are also grateful for our relationship and partnership with the RTMC, where we are currently developing messages that will ensure that we make a difference as we approach the festive season. Our last message, Honorable Minister, is that let this be the season to be merry and not to bury our loved ones. Thank you.
So much. This brings us to the keynote statement for the day. Hand over to you, Minister. Once the Minister has addressed us, we'll obviously open it up for questions.
Fine.
Over to you, Minister.
Thank you very much, and allow me to acknowledge MEC Diali Klabela and also MMC Mokhale. Let me also acknowledge the Acting Director General, Mr. Matabata Mokonyama, and CEOs of entities and senior officials of the Department of Transport and its entities, leaders of civil society, transport stakeholders, and faith-based organizations who are with us today, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are launching an intensified road safety campaign that will last from today, the 20th of March, until the 2nd of May. Our theme for this campaign is It Begins With Me. We chose this theme because driver and pedestrian behavior is responsible for 87% of road accidents, fatalities, and injuries in our country. And so reducing road accidents, fatalities, and injuries is the responsibility of each and every one of us. Over the last 2 months, that is January and February this year, guided by our experience over the 2024 festive season, we have adopted an improved approach to managing road safety. This includes deployment of National Traffic Police on key routes at month end.
deepening cooperation and focus on high-risk areas amongst national, provincial, and municipal traffic officers. And the fact that I'm sitting between my two colleagues from the city of Tshwane and the province of Gauteng is intended to be symbolic of the way in which all of us are working together across 9 provinces and 44 district municipalities nationwide. Ongoing focus we've been having over the last 2 months on arresting pedestrians whom we find walking on highways. During January and February, our enforcement officers have issued 21,282 fines to drivers for speeding. More than 3,000 drivers have been arrested for drunk driving in January and February, and 12,000 unroadworthy or unregistered vehicles have been removed from our roads. The consequence of these actions is that we saw a 10% month-on-month decline in accidents in January 2025 compared with January 2024, and a 25% decline month-on-month on accidents when one compares February 2025 with February 2024. So the next 6 weeks, we are going to be working together to undertake the following actions. First of all, following a meeting with the bus industry on the 17th of March this year, we're going to be working with the industry to check vehicle roadworthiness and also to educate drivers, particularly on issues of fatigue and road safety ahead of the Easter weekend. We are working together, as you've heard, with the taxi industry to make sure that we are visiting taxi ranks, inspecting vehicles, and also advocating for road safety and safe driving amongst taxi drivers, as well as fatigue management. We're having ongoing meetings with civil society to encourage public campaigns in every sector and to promote road safety. Today we had a meeting that was attended by 33 road safety organizations from around the country. Some were physically present here in this room, others joined us online. And during the course of this meeting, we agreed that road safety cannot be confined to the festive season and the Easter period. It is something that has to happen every day, every month, every week, throughout the year. We committed to meeting regularly on a quarterly basis. We committed to common messaging. And as a result of that, we will be sharing our social media and other messages with all of the stakeholders who were present today. We committed to meeting each other and working together on common programs that include testing vehicles for roadworthiness, wearing of seat belts, and also focusing on the safety not only of scholar transport, but also scholars as they walk home from work. I'm pleased today to say to you that we are developing closer relations with the liquor industry. And I have asked the liquor industry in these very sexy adverts that we all enjoy on the media to please include adverts about arriving home safely after partying. Our message is that if you have been partying, please use transport, public transport or private transport driven by somebody who has not been partying. If you don't have available transport, sleep over where you are. Please do not go and walk home when you're not in a position to judge whether there are vehicles coming or not. I'm also pleased to say that we are promoting and developing our relationship with the Road Freight Association. As we all know, there is a great deal of freight on our roads because much of our freight has moved from rail to road. And we look forward to developing our relationship with this sector so that we have greater safety both for road freight haulers as well as for other vehicles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will also be ensuring that throughout this period our joint operation centers are operating, where municipalities, provinces, and ourselves work together. And we will be focusing on critical routes across the country that require additional policing. This includes the N4, the R71, Libode on the N2 and the Mtata's R61, the R54, the N3, the N2, the N4 from Middelburg to Gauteng, and the R66 in KZN. These are routes where historically there are high volumes of traffic that would be attending various religious ceremonies over the festive season, and we will be enhancing policing there. The National Traffic Police, the South African Police Services, provincial traffic departments, Cross-Border Road Traffic Agency, Border Management Agency, the metros and local authorities will all work together to patrol routes leading to Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal, and Mpumalanga, Free State, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, and high visibility will be maintained in Gauteng. Let me conclude by saying that as government, we will not be able to achieve anything ourselves. And so we depend on our partners that have met with us today, as well as each and every individual citizen, to make sure that we obey the rules of the road, to make sure that we buckle up when we get into a vehicle, and to make sure that each and every one of us arrive alive. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Minister. There is obviously an indication, Minister, that they would want to have a one-on-one with you.
Sure.
Most of our members of the media are online. So, Mr. Naren, if I can just check if there's any questions online at the moment. Okay. So, Minister, I think at this point, ENCA, if you can take questions, you have questions from your side. There's an indication from SABC that they would want a one-on-one. Naren, you also do a one-on-one. Okay, Minister, mainly it is one-on-one, the guys you have here. So at this point, I do want to thank you, Minister, and the representatives who spoke for the messages of support. That brings us to the end of the press conference. I do want to arrest you on your seat, Minister, and maybe the MEC as well, so you don't have to move. So we'll take the one-on-ones from there.
Shall I get him?
So just say we'll sort you out. And I suppose the president, for instance, at Sontako, if there's an interest, will indicate Rebecca is here, she's sitting here. So you can speak to the spokesperson, and then NTA, of course, if there is an interest with other representatives, you can just organize it yourself. Thank you, Minister. That brings us to the end. Thank you.
Thank you.